When the downtown lights start to come out at night, we go insane, and when I arrive I start to lose my mind. I go insane, cause they told me you take too much. Yeah, I sure do, so I can feel that now. If they only knew how this was, yeah, they would too, just to feel that now. Cause I ain't got no friends, I ain't got nobody, all I got ahead is...
Hello, how are we all? Can you hear me? Yes, hopefully. Ooh, how are we all? It's nice to see you. Welcome to my new home. Isn't it nice? I've got this nice desk here. Why don't you come in a little bit closer and it'll be a bit cozier. Come on in. It's gone night time. I've got this. I tell you, in the northern hemisphere, northern Europe, we get dark really quickly, you know. You can come in a little bit closer. Hello. This is my new studio, isn't it gorgeous? Wait till you see it in the daytime. So, alright, you lot over in Twitch, thanks for coming and hanging out, but you know I'm moving to the tubes. So, you need to come and hang out in the tubes. So, happy Thanksgiving to all my lovely American friends. It's nice to see you. And I hope you've got a lovely day of relaxation coming up. And yeah, what is that grey thing on the desk? That grey thing? It's called a telephone. Honestly, what do you like? Right, I need to bring this chat over here because I'm straining my neck to look up on these screens, I tell you. And I need to turn down my music for me. I don't know why it's so loud for me. There we go. I'm I can't hear myself thinking here. So there we go. And we've got Jimmy Angstrom here, we've got Exegy, we have C Sharp Fritz, we've got TMK, DK, who else have we got hanging out in here? We've got Scott and Rambling Geek. It's lovely to see you all. And we have Machin over on YouTube. Good morning, hello, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you lot. So yeah, we've been working hard on the new studio. I've had some frustrating days, like yesterday, where I was working on a demo of a Signal R app that integrates with Unity so that we can do some controlling of this studio via a web app over Signal R. And all the threads were locking up. The app was dying. I was getting so frustrated. Silicon Orchid was about to he had to go lie down. He was like, I can't cope with this anymore, and he had to go lie down. That's how bad it was. And you want to know what it was? There's this teeny tiny checkbox in a new Unity template that's not in the old templates. Well, it is in the old templates, but it's checked in the old templates and not checked in the new templates, and that's to make it run in the background. So every time I clicked off to do something, the app stopped, and I thought it was my code, and it wasn't. It totally wasn't. It was freaking Unity. Can you believe it? Oh my goodness. All right, you lot, you're all doing YouTube things. I'm going to sort that now. Okay, let's have a look at what that is. Let's see. I need to just put my fans on because I rebooted my computer. My fan override has gone off. So let me kick that off. My poor computer, my poor graphics card. Let's get it going, shall we? So, how are you all doing? Anyway, what are you up to if you are celebrating Thanksgiving? What food have you got? You know I'm food obsessed. Oh my goodness, look at all these subscribers over on YouTube. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to give you a special... let's see. You can have green. Wowzers, that's a bit bright. And so we've upped that luminosity, maybe a little bit too much in the front there, but we're sorting. As I say, it's the first run of the new studio, so you get green for being a lovely green subscribers over on YouTube, so thank you so much for that. All right, let's kick off these fans. I wonder if you'll hear them when they kick in. It's like, there they go, there they go. It's like wind turbines going on in here. All right, I need to set you up with a YouTube link, don't I? Come on then. I know you're all in there doing it. Let's go and fix that for you. What do you want? YT or YouTube? Both of them? And at the moment I can't see where my chat is, so I don't know what you're doing. Oh, have you got a picture of your Thanksgiving spread? Oh, I couldn't get to that link, I'm afraid. And I'm sad because I want to see Thanksgiving food. And we got Smav UK and Stacey Clouds over on YouTube, over here on YouTube. So it's nice to see you. Oh, look, it's the daylight is coming along now. It'll be light soon, so it's nice. I'm hoping everything will be nice and stable. This room has been pretty stable. They've done a lot of like mods over the previous studios, so that's going. All right, let's sort out this chat command over here. And just sort this out. Okay. Do. And today we're going to look at some minimal APIs. All right, you lot. So let's just see. Okay, and that might be just a timeout thing. They should both come through. All right. So, Craig Pickles, thank you so much. I'm loving my new studio. It's very snazzy. So we're hoping to get some lovely integrations coming in here soon as well. As I was saying earlier, oh, I lost everything. Here comes the dawn. So I was working on this app yesterday, a prototype with Signal R coming in to Unity, and we got it all working. Unity wasn't helpful with that, but we got it going, which is really cool. And yeah, so let's see if everything is going to work smoothly. Why are we even watching? Sab, you know something might blow up. And we got Coded Beard. Hello, it's so nice to have people coming in and saying hello. So I published my first video this week as well. That's my news. So I did that on Tuesday. It's a absolute beginners, like we discussed last week. So in the stream last Thursday and possibly Friday, I can't remember what we did, we worked on a lovely little console app, a cheese survey. I'm running a cheese survey in the community tab on YouTube as well, so you can go tell me what cheese you like, and that could be cheesy music. It could be cheesy comedy as well. Thank you very much for the subscription there. Lee Waddle, is that what? Waldy, not Waddle, sorry. All right, let's give you another color. Let's have blue in the studio. We'll have some blue liggets. And is the YouTube 20 seconds. There is always a delay on YouTube, and I don't know why, but I have got the ultra low latency set up now, so I'm hoping that that's all sorted. So yeah, you can come over. Frackberg, hello. Cheesy is my favorite. Cheesy everything. So we sort of last week we worked on, well, the video I created for Tuesday that just went out is completely for beginners, like how to install .NET, how to get your first application running, basically a hello world. So we did that. I did that, not we worked on the code last week, but I made the video. And I've made 2 more videos. I'm like on a roll. I feel newly motivated, which is really nice. So that's been a good thing about my move to YouTube. It's sort of given me a fresh invigoration. Hang on. You know, just sometimes everything gets a little bit low and you just need a little pick-me-up, and that's what it's done for me. Dabasi Pool, hello, welcome to the chat. And so Dan Bar, hello, nice to see you. And oh, hello, it's so nice to have folks coming in and saying hello. So let me see. So I have my Monster in my pineapple. Because everyone needs Monster and pineapple. So awesome sauce. What else are we doing? C Sharp Fritz says, I feel the need to make videos that are perfect for YouTube, and it makes me stop to rethink and script everything. Okay, so this was my big problem. And I have really tried to get past my perfection over progress mentality and switch it up to progress over perfection. I'd love to hear what all of you folks feel about progress over perfection and how you manage that and how you do that. So like, as Fritz, I know Fritz and I have discussed this whole YouTube thing and how we both felt unable to do videos because we just needed them to be perfect. And like in the video I released on Tuesday, I'm practically whispering. I'm like, hello, welcome to my YouTube video, and I'm trying not to disturb the neighbors as I teach you. And I thought, shall I go back and record? And I was like, no, you will not go back and record. You will release it, warts and all. And I did, and it felt very liberating. And if I get slammed in the comments for that, that's it. Dan, you love my new virtual office. Thank you. And thank you very much, Stephen Stafford, for the subscription there. And yeah, this is right. Coding after work. When starting streaming, Jeff said, just press stream. And I've said that to folks. I know when I started streaming, it was Chef Brent, Heck Brent now, who encouraged me to stream way back in like mid 2019. And he said, just hit stream, just turn on the camera and talk. And I did. And so, Jeff, I know you've been doing YouTube videos, but just find something that you feel really comfortable with, because even if you know it inside out, there's going to be people who don't, so that there's no bugs. You don't need to be too clever. That's why I just did a complete for basics one, because it gave me the confidence just to do it and release it, and that's really helped. Oh, you think he's back to Chef Brent now? Is he? Okay. I haven't spoken to Brent for a while. I need to catch up with him. I spoke to him a couple months ago. We were chatting. So yeah, that's really important. What Jimmy says there, coding after work, just hit stream. So I just hit record and I recorded it. And I have to give a really big shout out to Nick Chapsas. He's been mentoring me. He's been really such an inspiration, and he's really helped give me the confidence to make my YouTube videos, and he's been really encouraging. So that's been awesome. I think you need people to just be there and help you with it. And so, you know, it's been really just fun to do stuff. All right, let me go and see. This is a thing. Fritz is saying that he gets really nasty comments, and I know I see lots of people that I follow on YouTube from all different things. So I love Abroad in Japan with Chris Broad. I love it, and he does some sometimes he goes and reads out his YouTube comments, and I'm like, oh my goodness, people are so horrible, so unbelievably horrible. And the thing I'm telling myself is I'm going to get horrible comments. I know it. And as long as it's not someone I know and I'm like, wow, that's really nasty, I'm going to be all right with that. So hello, Angelo Belqua, or is it Angelo? Hello, welcome from Brazil. So lovely to have you join me and everybody else here. So it's really nice. So I'm glad you like the new studio. I'm really pleased with it. I love all my plants, and it's really nice space. I'm no longer out in the cold, because everybody, when I was in the winter wonderland, everyone was like, oh my god, are you not cold? Yes, cold inside now, inside. So I was thinking we could have a Christmas tree over there in front of the stairs. Maybe I'll put that in a week or two. We'll get that up there. And I'm working on controlling the lights. So let's have a look what we've got. I've got red, and they're all cute. So I've only got the 3 RGB lights at the moment, and I need to add in. Wow, that green is really bright, isn't it? I'm like, it's totally mega bright. So we need to wire in the hex code command as well. So I'll get that done soonish, and we can get everybody interacting, which is cool. So, minimal APIs. Who's played with them? Anyone? I have played with them. I've spoken about them on online, like not online, at conferences. I've given a chat about them, and then I've done sort of the basics with them. And so I want to dig into them. My friend Poinima, she was telling me that the rate limiting and caching is really interesting. So I thought we could have a look at that today when we get started. Because I used to use, I've done some stuff with rate limiting, and that was using an external NuGet package. I can't think of it. It's a good one. So I used to do a demo for APIs on there. And I on like API security, and I showed how you could do some rate limiting and all that type of thing on your APIs. So I used to use that. So it's interesting to see that's been brought into .NET, so we can have a look at that and go through that. So Stacey, well, let's see. Coded Bit says that they have some minimal APIs in production. That's pretty awesome. And Stacey Cloud says, I have the stream on my new OLED Ambilight TV while I work. It's so spectacular when you turn on those stars. Lights up the whole wall. Okay, let's do it again. Let's do it. Should we do a red one? Yay! So Coded Beer says great for small CRUD APIs, which is what we use them for. If you're doing CRUD, have you checked out C# Fritz's like minimal API NuGet package? What's it called? Fritz, are you still there, or are you already hitting up the Thanksgiving dinner? Instant APIs, that's it. Let me find a link to that. It is on Jeff's GitHub, I believe. But it's a new NuGet package, instant APIs.net. Let me have a look. I'll see if I can find it for you. Instant APIs. Okay, so this is great for CRUD, and I'll pop that in there for you. And that's something that Jeff Fritz wrote. It's a community project, so that, it's not fully complete, but if you want to contribute and if you find it useful, I'm sure Jeff would love to have contributions on it. But it's just basically, it goes and looks at your DB sets and then builds up CRUD for all your DB sets, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, so alrighty, shall we go and dive into minimal APIs? Shall we go and have a look-see? I think that could be quite nice, couldn't it? All right, let's get something up on the screen. I don't have my Holo projector in yet. That is coming. I think I've got a new upgraded model as well. No more big thing off to the side, but we'll see how that goes. But yes, alrighty, let's have a look. Oh, Coded Beard says I have seen them, but these were really simple 10-minute jobs, so I didn't really need anything beyond what's in there. Alrighty. Yes, Fritz says I need to update the instant APIs. So there you go. But if you want to help contribute, I'll drop the link in Twitch as well. There you go. You can go check those out. Alrighty then, let's go and have a look at some docs. There we go. Alrighty. So, what have we got going on? Not a lot. Not a lot. So where were we looking last week? We're on the documentation, minimal APIs, .NET. I've got really bad sciatica today. I've had sciatica for a few weeks, but it's really flared up for me today. It's really bothering me, so I'm gonna fidget, I'm afraid, and I might make faces, angry faces. Dan says he's just noticed my shadow in the virtual studio. Yes, I've had shadows in a lot of my studios. I used to make like shadow puppets, and of course when I make shadow puppets I have to make really weird noises like so yeah, stick around for those because I love embarrassing myself. Okay, so we were going through, oh that's teeny tiny, sorry folks, but it gets bigger. We went through this. We're going to have a look at the middleware. I think that's interesting. Quick hit of Monster. So Tabaxi Paul, you're saying some women in tech don't respect other members in the community. I don't think that just goes for women in tech. I think that goes for, and lots of people don't respect other people's. If anyone tried to communicate with them, they block them on social media. They harass them on Twitter with harassing feet. Now, I don't know if this is related to some recent stuff that's been going on, but I can't comment on that because I haven't been present and I don't know what happened. So if that's related to some stuff that I've seen, I have some thoughts on it, but these things happen all the time where people just don't want to hear feedback and will block and just, yeah, it's a sad fact of humans, I think. So C-Shop Fritz says, confession, while I like minimal APIs, I think Azure Functions with HTTP triggers is much easier and cost effective too. I am still a huge fan, was that a big enough, huge, of Azure Functions, and probably the bot I'm building might utilize some Azure Functions. I haven't decided yet. It's not a bot, it's like an integration to my room. So we'll see, but we'll go on with that. So we'll carry on and see what's going on here. Well, we know all this stuff, more or less. We've looked at this. I've done this on stream before. Okay, this is pretty basic. I think it was mainly what I wanted to hit down was the more interesting stuff that's a little bit more complex. URLs add with HTTPS. Okay. Let's go down. I really wanted to look at this. Brain, start working. Middleware. Here. Let's start with this, because I think this is going to be interesting, and we'll add some stuff in. Let's have a look. Right. Use routing, use endpoints. Now, I wanted to get to the stuff that Purnima was telling me about, which was the rate limiting. Custom middleware. Let's read what middleware is in this context. So, web application. So that's when we do app.builder. Builder.build, and we build the web application builder that gives us a web application. This automatically adds the following middleware. So this will come out of the box, I'm guessing. So we've got developer exception page, use routing, use endpoints, use authentication. So you add that. So order is always a bit tricky with these, so just follow the instructions on the order. A lot of stuff doesn't matter in which order you do, but I know that this does. So it can be connected with the service provider. Use authorization is added and can be detected in service provider, and user configured middleware and endpoints added between use routing and use endpoints. Okay. So the following code is effectively what the automatic middleware being added to the application looks like. All right, so we add, so this is where we do var app is equal to builder.build, and then we have app, we have the use developer exception page, we've got the use routing is, so if you've configured that, it will use authentication and authorization, so that will be toggled. I guess if you have like developer settings or development settings, you won't have authorization configured, and if you're live in production, that would be on. And then we've got this custom middleware. Okay, and then endpoints comes at the end, and that's where you're going to map certain things, and that could be like, what was I doing yesterday in endpoints? I was mapping the route to my Signal R hub. That kind of thing can go in there. Alrighty. So if we come down here, my favorite. Cause. I tell you, if ever there is a problem in my application, my web application, this is, it's cause. It's always cause. Really irritates me. It's so annoying. Who else hates cause? Me. I hate cause. Cause is like the root of all evil. Anyway, moving on. I know it's useful, but it is, kind of irritating. Okay, because it's just problem. It's just problems everywhere. Okay, so isn't required. Context. What is this? If middleware should be run before route matching occurs, use routing should be called, and the middleware should be placed before the call to use routing. Use endpoints isn't required in this case, as it's automatically. Okay, so we're going to have that. When adding a terminal middleware that runs if no endpoint handles the request. Gosh, getting the order right on this, I could see, would be very tricky. Stacy says, cause is one of the reasons I love static web apps. Exegete says, I thought we always blamed DNS, then cause. In my case, it's nearly always cause. And yeah, it's really, I just set it to like star when I'm developing. Is that really bad? Yeah, don't judge me. Okay. All right. Recommended content. So we've got our middleware where. So I wanted to come in and find. Is it performance? Yeah, I think let's go in here. This is the bit I wanted to dig into a little bit today, as part of everything. Right. So cache aggressively. Okay, we could do that, I'm sure. And let's go and have a look down here. Caching is discussed in several parts of this document. All right. Hot code paths is defined as a code path that is frequently called and where much of the execution time occurs. Hot code paths typically limit app scale out and performance and are discussed in several parts. Okay. Avoid blocking calls. Okay. Hello, CodeNest. Welcome. All right, so ASP.NET Core apps should be designed to process many requests simultaneously. Asynchronous APIs allow a small pool of threads to handle thousands of concurrent requests by not waiting on blocking calls. Rather than waiting on a long-running synchronous task to complete, the thread can work on another request. A common performance problem in ASP.NET Core apps is blocking calls that could be asynchronous. Many synchronous blocking calls lead to thread pool starvation and degraded response times. There's weird noises coming from behind me. Well, there's no one behind me in here. I don't know what it is. And I'm always suspicious when I hear weird noises. Suspicious of Destructopup. I might have to go check on that in a moment. Disembodied hand. No, I've locked the hands away. They are locked away. All right, so this is kind of standardy stuff. Return large collections across multiple smaller pages. Web page shouldn't load. So a lot of this is really good advice if you're new and you need to learn about stuff and just go and review this. When returning collection objects, consider whether it could lead to performance issues. Determine if the design could produce the following. So this may be like pagination that you want to do. Yeah, there it is. Page size. So you go and say, all right, rather than returning 10,000 results, bring me the first 100, and then you paginate it all. So that seems good. IEnumerable or async enumerable. So you're returning. So IEnumerable, if you get something from, I don't know, your database, and you pull back you return it as an IEnumerable rather than actually doing a toList. That means you have this glut of data that you can decide what you're going to do with it. You can further filter it, you can put it to a list, but keeping it as an IEnumerable is much more efficient than just bringing it back as a toList and then maybe another one as a toArray or first or default. Just bring it back as an IEnumerable. That's pretty good practice. So definitely using that. Minimize large object allocations. Automatic. Okay. So I want to get to the bit where we code caching and stuff. Where's that? So HTTP client factory. I've spoken about that quite a lot. create and dispose of it. So that HTTP Client Factory will manage your clients for you. It will dispose of them, it will reuse them, it will make sure that everything is handled correctly and doesn't go AWOL. So good practice to do that. Okay. Keep code paths fast. Right. Frequently called code paths are the most critical to optimize, especially middleware. On every request, for example, custom logging. Okay. Are we going to get some, like, how to do this soon? Or is this just going to tell us the do's and don'ts? Oh, look, some code. Okay, what's this game? Bad stream reader control. This is bad, folks. Badness happening. So we go and get it, and then the get synchronously reads the entire HTTP request body. So read to end. And if the client is slowly uploading, the app is doing sync over async. The app does sync over async because Kestrel does not support synchronous reads. Okay, so what they're saying is yes, await it so it throws off and gets on with stuff. You're not blocking it. And then you can say read to end async. Fine. All right, let's see if we can find minimal APIs. Let's start with rate limiting because that's always fun and we can test it with Postman. Oh, let's have a look at Martin's code because Martin was telling me that there was some great new stuff coming out on minimal APIs. So let's go and have a look at his site. Very snazzy site, Martin. Let's have a look. Am I going to sneeze? My monster is consumed. Alrighty. Okay, so rate limiting. Who's come across rate limiting? Who knows what it is? So where I've come across it is when I want to use like free APIs for doing crazy stuff like translate to pirate speak or other stuff like get some cool data about Star Trek or something like that. And you can only make so many requests an hour. It's limited. I need to hide some pineapples in this room, don't I? They need to be around, and I need to hide them. So it's like Psych. I loved watching the TV show Psych, and did you know that in every single episode there was a pineapple? There was a pineapple hidden, and you know I love pineapple. So you've probably experienced rate limiting. It's also a good way of tiering paying for an API. So maybe tier 1 is free and people get 5 requests an hour. Tier 2 is 10 units of money and you get 20 or 100 an hour, and then you get like Enterprise Pro and you get like 1,000 or unlimited per hour or something like that. And you can add rate limiting and you can specify it for different users and things like that. So you've probably come across rate limiting like that. So I've really been wanting to put rate limiting into a minimal API because you used to have to bring in this external thing. I think let's have a look at the library I used to do. It should be on my GitHub. And limit and throttle. This was the one 2018 I last updated this. Gosh. So if we have a look in our CS proj, I used ASP.NET Core rate limit. Thank you, Mark Hutsweeker, for the what's it, the the subscription. That thing. Thank you. I'm going to give you a different colored room. We're going to go for red. Oh, it's quite daylight, so you can't see the red. But the bulbs at the back and this one here are all lighting red for you. And Phil Vesey, yes, I'm going YouTube. I'm moving across to the tube. So come join us. Just in case you would like to come over, let me just drop in the link there, folks. You can come and hang out with us on tubes. Alrighty, so thank you very much there for the subscription. And let's go have a look. So this is the one I used, ASP Netcore Rate and Limit. And so now that seems to have been brought into .NET itself. So like having a look at Martin's blog here. So I'm just going to share that with folks on stream. And let's go and see if we can implement it, hoping that he's going to, yes, good old Martin. Though Martin is a lovely, kind, generous person. He works for JetBrains, and often when I get stuck on something, I will ping Martin, and he's always happy to help me. So he's a very kind person. So let's have a look. If your application is using .NET 7 or higher, a rate limiting middleware is available out of the box. Excitement! It provides a way to apply rate limiting to your web application and API endpoints. Much like other middlewares, to enable the ASP.NET Core rate limiting middleware, you will have to add the services to the service collection and then enable the middleware for all request pipelines. Let's add a simple limiter that limits all to 10 requests per minute per authenticated username or hostname if not authenticated. Alright, so he's adding it to services. Okay, so shall we see if we can build an app? Let's use Visual Studio today. Where have you gone? You're over there. Why are you over there? Come back down here. Okay, so let's create and let's do it. Web API, and let's go stick it in repos. We're going to do it in demos, and let's call this rate limiting. Okay, let's go here, .NET 7, use controllers. So we're going to uncheck that because I'm going to use minimal APIs, and we're going to configure for HTTPS. And we're going to have top level statements. Let's go the whole shebang, shall we? Alrighty, let's bring it in. Quite peckish now. Maybe I should eat my ginormous orange. Why is my code pinging up here all the time? Come down here, my lovelies. Okay. Maybe. Do you think I can peel this? You know how some oranges. Oh my god, it's like spitting at me. It's like, get off me. So let's go here for a moment while I do that. And so let me just ask whilst I'm doing this, who has a requirement right now for rate limiting? Who needs it? Who's actually using it, and how are you doing it at the moment? Maybe no one live is watching has done it yet or has requirement for it. This is like covering in juice. Oh my god. Like, my hand is saturated in orange oil. This is really aggressive orange. Okay. But I'm noshy, so I'm going to persist with this aggressive orange. This is an extra large from Marks and Spencer's. What makes me laugh is this is like a normal size orange for most places, but this is an extra large orange in the UK. So Coded Beard says, looking to add it to one of our new APIs as it's going to be used by loads of third parties. Now that's a really relevant use. So when you've got lots of third party people consuming, you're selling your API services, all of that type of thing is so important to have there. And then you can sort of vary it, as I was saying earlier, based on like tiering or just whatever you require. And 1 second. This materialized for me. So I can stop making a mess of my nice new desk. I do like the wood on this desk. It's rather nice, isn't it? So this nice sort of greyish charcoal and very, very exotic. Okay, let's see. I finally peeled this git. Get all the bits in. So I'm probably going to be using some kind of rate limiting or something like that in my new app to stop all you lot spamming the colors in my room. Whilst I'm doing this, let's have a color. Let's have green, super bright green, super green, orange demonstration. Yes, there we go. Oh. It's gonna fight me every step of the way, this orange. It just like splattered me with juice as I tried to bite into it. It's like, do not eat me. It's got no seeds. Anyway, I buy seedless oranges, so it's never going to fulfill its purpose anyway, so I may as well eat it. Oh. So Coded Beard says, we're also not selling the API directly. It's part of the new recycling schemes in Scotland, so little control over who will have access to it. Okay, so you don't want people to come and spam the crap out of it, do you? You just want to be able to leave it there and like have people do so many hits an hour. So that's a really valid reason. Okay, let's go and see if we can write some code. And the skin is really tough on this thing. It's like, you know how sometimes they're like, they melt in the mouth. This one's like, bite through my extra hard hide, you. Oh, God. Yeah, Coded Beard, that's exactly right. Lots of companies using it. Little to no direct relation with it. So yeah, you have to protect your resources and your servers and everything. Okay, so we've got this. So this is top level statement. There's no program, there's no main, it's all static, and we just get it straight through like this. I'll make it bigger. So this is our web application builder. Up here, we add all of our services to it. Then we build our app, and this is now the web application. And this is where we'll add middleware. So let's go and look at Martin's blog post. So he's adding this as a service. He says add the required services to the service collection, and then afterwards we're going to enable the middleware, which is down here, use rate limiter. So let's start by popping this in and having a look at that. Where's my code gone? Over here. Okay, so services, it doesn't matter where you add things. And let me just unpin that and have a look here. So we've got an options thing, and that's a pretty normal pattern. Global limiter. gets or sets the global partitioned rate limiter that will be applied on all requests. So this one is just going to cover everything. I'm guessing we can do API specific limiting as well. It goes and gets the HTTP context, and then it goes and gets this partition. So it contains methods. See, I don't really know what a partition rate limiter is. What's that? Let's go and Google partitioned rate. Does Martin? That looks like the first instance of it. So let's go and find out what the partition rate limiter is. Unless anyone in the chat can tell me. Planning. Let's have a look through this one. Okay. See what this says. Also contained in rate limiting NuGet package is the partitioned rate limiter of type tResource. This is an abstraction that is very similar to the rate limiter class, except that it accepts a resource instance as an argument to methods on it. For example, acquire is now acquire tResource, resource ID. This is useful for scenarios where you might want to change rate limiting behavior depending on the resource that is passed in. Okay, this can be something such as an independent concurrency limits for different resources, or more complicated scenarios like grouping X and Y under the same concurrency limit, but having W and Z under a token bucket limit. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so you can base it on policies here as well. So you're partitioning off your different requests coming in. So we have this. So if the resource is of policy 1, policy 2, no limiter. This is really interesting. So from a point, if you had different tiers of an API that you were selling, you would say, well, this resource people, you could assign people who log in or their tokens to different resource buckets, and then you can limit them however you see fit. So that's very interesting. Okay, I'm going to just copy that. And stick it in here. I also want to get Martin's blog as well. I always like to put the blogs I'm working from into the code. So when I come back to look at them, I'm like, oh, well, A, if I create content out of them and I heavily use someone's blog, I can give them a mention. And B, I can always go back and find out where it was and then find out stuff from there. So it's always good practice of mine to do that. Okay, so let's go through here. So we've got this partitioned rate limiter, and we've got a partition key. We get that identity name. So if they have an identity, so they're logged in. I defeated the orange. It's going to put pith everywhere though. Okay. Right, that can go over there, out of the way. Orange oil, hands delicious. Okay, so what Martin was saying when he set this up was, if someone is logged in, it will base it on their identity, otherwise the header. So that's what we've got here. We've got a null coalescer. So if they've got a name, if that's null, because we've got this nullable type here, go and get the host. So that's going to be our partition key. And then the factory, which is called when a rate limiter for a given partition key is needed. So this is saying, given whatever partition key that is, go and do this. So we've got a fixed window rate limiter. That just sounds like it's going to apply to everything. Auto replenishment, permit okay. Let's go and see what Martin has to say in the blog. Let's just go and put this. So it looks like it has to go after routing. So he's going to break it down. We can go through that as well. I like to try and figure it out myself before I go and read the breaking down and read it. So we'll see if I got that going okay. So we want the routing. Where's the routing? Routing. I don't have it. So we're going to stick it here. All right. Okie dokie. The call to builder.services.add rate limiter registers the ASP. All right, Coded Beard, see you later. Thanks for hanging out with us. Oh, you gotta go talk about them. So let me get rid of that. Including the configuration options, there are many options that can be specified. Such as HTTP status codes being returned, what should happen when rate limiting applies, and so I think it's at 403, is that rate limit? 429, I believe. I have to check this now. HTTP status code, I think 429 is limit reached. Too many requests, yeah. So that's what we're going to return to those pesky. Oh, PyroCat's there as well. So that's just to the live feed, PyroCat, saying that my YouTube is youtube.com/@Layla codes it. There you go. That's where I am. I'm there. You can come hang out. It's fine. That was just a direct link to the YouTube. How we support on there in Phil Vesey. Oh, on YouTube. What? As in subscription? Wow, that's what I'm working on. Okay, let me explain my plan. I want to set up a Patreon, and then that's how I would like people to start supporting my streams and my work is via Patreon. And so I am currently setting up a Patreon. So yes, Phil Vesey, I'd love you to support me via that. I just want to do this is the integration I'm working on with that, with the bot. So people who support me on Patreon will get different stuff to do in my room, just to give you a reward for being a wonderful supporter of mine. So yes, I would love for you to support me via that. So that's coming hopefully. I can turn on Patreon whenever it's ready to go, but I haven't got the integration with this studio ready yet. That was what I spent the whole day working on yesterday, and Unity foiled me. It foiled me. So yes, I'm working on that. Yeah, that's the plan, and that's how I would appreciate folks supporting me. So my subscribers on Twitch, and when I get to the point where I can have members on YouTube, which is a way off yet, I will integrate folks from there, but I would very much like people to start supporting me on Patreon. So that's where we're going to go. So yes, so that's it, Phil Vesey. That answers your question. Sorry, I missed that one. A while back you asked that one, so apologies for that. Let's have, as it's like night time, I'm going to go with blue to match my jumper. Blue. I don't know why I made that spooky. It's not spooky. It's just blue. Blue's not spooky. Alrighty, let's go back to code. So, right, we're going to assume we want one global rate limiter and configure it to apply per authenticated username or hostname if not authenticated. So that's what we're going to do. The partition, the fixed window limiter is then configured to automatically replenish permitted requests and permits 10 requests per minute. Okay, so if someone uses up all their 10 things in a minute, when that minute is up, this is going to refresh it and give them another 10 ready to use. For the download code, you'll see app.use rate limiter. This enables the middleware. So we're switching on the middleware and we're configuring the middleware. So we configure it in services and then we turn it on in middleware. All right, so, okay, let's, should we give it a whirl? We have a forecast here. It looks like we've got a limit. I'm just going to stick that down to 5 just for simplicity, and let's run it. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to go try it out. We could just do it. Forget Swagger. Let's go weather forecast. So we should get one. All right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I have to click in it. There we go. Yay! It's working. It's working. Awesome. Yay, we've got rate limiting. Okay. So that's, I don't like that though, that we just sorry, you can't get in here. Let's look at how to configure that. We want a 49, like PyroCat said. So we're going to add rate limiter options. So we're going to stick this, which is the too many requests, into our thing up here. So that was straight in our options. So we've got options. I'm guessing we can go options.reject rejection status code. We can do that. Just going to go weather forecast again. And where's my end? I thought I had an enter button on this side. Never mind. $429. There we go. Too many requests. Good, that's a lot nicer. That's the correct status code. So we can set up loads of things in the options. Additionally, there's an unrejected option you can set to customize the response that is sent when rate limiting is triggered for a request. It's good practice to communicate what happened and why a rate limit applies. So the unrejected, is he going to give us one? Okay, yes. Let's go and stick that in. And I'm just going to copy it. I find it much easier to read code in the editor. So we've got this, and this is another bit of settings. So this is the unrejected. It's going to tell us what to do. So we've got the status code for the HTTP context. All right, so if we've got too many requests, what is this, right? Why have we got these two? Too many requests? Oh, okay. So I just wanted to know why we've got this. Oh, metadata retry after. Okay, so why would we get that metadata names? Oh, this must be if they're logged in or something like that. So it's going to be something like that. And you can trigger it that way, I'm guessing. Scott is saying, is the window equals time span for minutes the same thing as being blocked out for 1 minute for doing too many requests? Let me have a look in 1 second. All right, let's just do this and then we'll go and have a look at that. There we go. So we've got that message. That's really nice. I like that. That's good. Okay, so where were we looking? Window time. Okay, yes. So this is about the fixed window. I think this is what it means by window here, Scott, is the window that this limit applies to. So if we're going to say someone can have 10 requests per minute, that is their window. If they're going to have 100 requests per minute, that's their window. And so this bit here, the fixed window rate limiter, is going to be responsible for, after that time period, refreshing the number of requests someone has, and then and this is where we can set the time. So if I wanted that to be just like 20 seconds, that's not it, from not 20 minutes, from seconds. Okay, so we can run that, and that means that we should be able to hit our 5, and then it will automatically refresh after 20 seconds. So let's go and see that. And I am actually going to do it in Swagger, because then I can just hit the button and I don't have to keep clicking in. Execute, 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 execute. All right, so we got our error 49. We're not getting a pretty error here. So we'll wait a few minutes, hope a few seconds, and we'll get to that 20 seconds. And there we go, we got it back. So it refreshed, and we'll get our next 5. So that's nice. Homeless207, why are you moving to YouTube? So one of the reasons I'm moving to YouTube is that I am starting to create curated content, so videos, and I want stuff to be more searchable and findable and long lasting, and Twitch for me has become too ephemeral. And I just want something that has more longevity, and I feel that streaming on YouTube will support my videos, and videos will support my streaming. So it just feels like, rather than spreading myself across multiple platforms and trying to build independent audiences and serve those ones, I want to move it all across onto YouTube and move that. That doesn't mean I won't still stream occasionally on Twitch, but I just want to focus really on building up good, thoughtful content on YouTube and making a curated experience. So that's why I'm moving over to there. And I'm hoping that you folks will come over and hang out with me there. So Pyrocat said, is this a new library in the Flamework? Flamework! Oh my god, I love that. It's not a framework, it's a flamework. It's a dumpster fire. No, it's not really. Well, sometimes it is, but we won't go there. So this is brand new with .NET 7. We have this as part of the framework, which is really nice. I hope that they brought in external libraries, third-party libraries, and supported that. I thought you might like that, Pyrocat. Flamework, flames. I kind of think I might need a fire pit in my little courtyard back there. I've got a nice lantern back here, which you can see at night. But I think maybe a fire pit. Fire pit. Yes. Pyrocat says, cool, I'll go update to .NET 7 and refactor it to use the native library. Thanks. Well, let me know how that goes, Pyrocat, because it'd be interesting to see how that comes in and supports you. So this is straight out of .NET 7 Flamework. That's what I'm going to call it now. The flames. Because everything I do burns anyway. Hello, Nick. Hello, how are you? Lovely to see you. We're just looking at the new .NET 7 rate limiting features that came in with minimal APIs and all that jazz. So we're just following Flamework. I love it, Pyro. I feel like we need that, you know, the Muppet. Who is it? That Muppet emote. Oh my goodness, what is it? I don't know. Like, the flames. I love that one. So how are you, Nick? I hope you're well. So we've got this going here, and big thank you to Martin for his lovely blog here. So what's his note? Be careful with the logic you write on your unrejected implementation. If you use your database context and run 5 queries, your rate limit isn't actually helping reduce strain on your database. Communicate with the user and return a meaningful error. You could even use the accept header and return either JSON or HTML, depending on the client, but don't consume more resources than a normal response would require. Okay. So Nick says, good, writing my boring performance review today. Oh, what, for yourself or for your reports? I always hate that reflection that companies ask you to do. Go reflect on yourself. Like, better things to do. So yes, Nick, Silicon Orchid has said the quality of the video on YouTube is less, and I don't know. I need to inspect it and see what I can do. I can have a quick gander. Let's have a look. So things that are different is the bit rate, because YouTube asked me to give it a much higher bit rate. Let me have a look. So I have 6K on Twitch and I have 9,500 on YouTube. So I can do some stuff here. I'm going to reduce it just to see. So I think that should just go. And oh, let me have a look at this. 1 second. Just have a quick look at this. I've actually got a higher quality setting on YouTube. Interesting. An encoder, and I wonder if that's why it's slow. I've got a slower encoder preset running than on Twitch, so that is odd. Okay, let me go here and it. Okay, I have to do that for the service. I don't know. It's something I'm going to have to investigate and see if I can figure it out. So Nick says it's just on me and on the things I did throughout the year. So it's your personal performance review, and start getting into a position where I write my achievements every month. Yes, that's good. Pyrocat says, I saw enough of my reflection this morning, applying makeup and sorting my hair. I don't want to stare at reflection perfection any longer. And I want that on a t-shirt too. Flame whack. Yes. Okay, so we need to be careful here. Communicate with folks. Types of rate limiter. Okay, in our example, we've used the fixed window limiter to limit the number of requests in a time window. There are more rate limiting algorithms available in .NET that you can use. So concurrency, it doesn't look at the time, just a number of concurrent requests. Fixed window limit lets you apply such things as 60 per minute. Sliding window limit. Okay, that's cool. So you can say, so this is limiting and rate limiting and throttling. Okay, so what you're saying is that you can have 60 requests a minute at a a rate of 1 request per second. So that's called a limit, and then a throttle, how quickly you can consume them. So in this case, you can't just consume all 60 in the first 5 seconds. You're only allowed to do 1 a second. So again, you're throttling things down. So that is cool. And then okay, token bucket limit. So that's kind of the opposite. You can make all of them in that time, but then you have to wait another minute. In addition, you can chain rate limiters of one type of various types using the partition rate. Create chained. Okay, so 600 requests per minute, but 6,000 per hour. That's an interesting one. So we can try and do that. And what I'm going to do is have a look. So we create one and then we create another one. So we're allowed total of this many in an hour. Okay, so we're daisy chaining them on. So we could do that. Let's take this one and go back over to our code, and let's go here. So we've got, let me go Control KD. We're going to daisy chain this in here. So we've got another. How are we doing that? Create chained. Okay. Let's go up here. So we need this one instead. So it's like a container for all of them together. And then I assume, I'm going to assume that they're comma separated, and they are. So we're adding, you could chain all of these together. So we're going to do that. And up here, I'm going to do that. And then that. HTTP context. Interesting. What have we got? There's my slider. Create chained. I probably just put it in the wrong place. Oh yes, I should be. Wait. We want to be in the create. We got 2 creates. Okay, no, I'm good. We got that bit. Honestly, it needs to smack me in the face. Oh, I reckon there's just a brace. What I'm gonna do, bring this guy down. Alright, so we've got that. We've got a brace there. Oh, it does match up. Interesting. Okay. Oh, it's fixed now because I've done a carriage return. I tell you, sometimes I'm just like, why do I code? Oh no, it's back. Why does it not like you? Do I need a library? That one has it too. Did we not have that before? What am I missing? Let's see. Silicon Orchid says RE stream quality. Yep, thanks. Already noticed big difference in quality. Over on Twitch, it only recodes the lower res version, meaning that the full res version is directly what we transmit, which is good quality. Here on YouTube, it's doing all the versions, but not doing a great job. I guess I have to do it cheap to support everyone using the IMRI encoders. Yeah, so it's probably because I'm like so new on here. It's like, yeah, we're not gonna give her any like goodness. All right, I'm gonna copy all of this because I'm gonna do a. Let's copy that, and I'm gonna go in here and I'm going to Control Z that crap out of this. Okay, and then we're gonna do a new one down here. I'm going to comment that one out. And then I'm going to stick this. Oh, I hate it when it does that. When I've collapsed it, I want you to comment out the whole lot and then collapse it. Okay, so let's see if we can get that in. Yeah, interesting. Why, Martin, do you have that? Let's see. I still think there is stuff we can do at our end to improve the stream ingest. Yeah, we'll start figuring it out. As I say, we're very new to this platform, so it's just going to take a little while to get there. All right, so let's go and have a look at this namespace. I'm guessing this is because this has been updated and now that API is gone, you know, that kind of stuff. Resolve. Let's see if I can get something that has IP. That obviously didn't make it into the final cut of .NET 7. So, didn't really yield me any good results, did it? Rate limiting. Take that out. Maybe this is it because they've changed it. Does this have anything? Okay, so it's because it. See, this is it where you go like, it's changed. Response headers, retry. Ugh, okay. We'll have to do some alternative things. So get fixed window. How did we have it up here? So we went and got, let's just do this host header. I'm going to try that. Let's see about that. And we're going to say you can have 5. Let's go up here to seconds because we're not going to hang around for an hour, are we, for this? Let's go seconds, say 10, and then in minutes we're going to have, you can have 20. Okay, so we should be able to hit I'm going to say actually 15, so we're going to do that 3 times. We should see that hit it, and then do that. So Home, there's a Stack Overflow's website for developers only. No, it's all part of Stack Exchange, isn't it? I think, which has lots of things for all different types of industries, I believe. What was my where? Stolen. Oh, okay, yes. Okay, so I think that will go now. And we'll give it a go. Okay, so I am expecting, what did I say? That we could have 5 in 10 seconds. and a total of 15 in a minute. Okay, so let's try it out. We're going to get 5 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got an error. Okay, so we're going to wait. We should be able to get another 5 now, would you say? Yes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got an error. So we're getting our 5. They're replenishing after 10 seconds. So we should be able to do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now that's it. That's it for the minute. So I think when I do it again, we're not going to get any at all. So yeah, there we go. So we'll have to wait for the minute to be up before I can do it again. So cool, that's all working, and so swapping that in worked. Let's go back over here and see what else we can do with it. Oh, Layla should have read down further. It's a custom thing that Martin wrote. Sorry. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. I need some pretty colors. It's night time. Let's have some red lights. I want some red because I feel rage. This is the color of my soul. It's all fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm all good. All good. So Homeless says, why do you want to do this limiting thing in the first place? What, in general or me right now? Well, in general, as I said at the beginning of the stream, if you want to limit how many times someone does something with your API, you can do that via rate limiting. Or if you are selling your API, you can tier it. So if you're giving it away for it, you get 5 requests a minute. If you pay for it, you get 1,000 requests a minute or whatever, something like that. So that's a reason for rate limiting. And this has just come included in .NET 7, whereas it used to be a third-party NuGet package that you would bring in. So this is all added into the middleware, and it's really cool. So Alu the Crow, welcome to the Twitch chat. Limiting is a great strategy to prevent malicious users too, quite rightly. So all sorts of things. It's a DDoS. It can prevent DDoS, so which is a distributed denial of service attack, or a distributed a denial of service. So what that means is that if it's a distributed one, it means like a whole plethora of services distributed are all going to hit your API at once with thousands of requests. So they're basically bots, and they'll hit it so much that they overload your system and it grinds to a halt. Okay, so that's how they deny the service. So rate limiting is an excellent way of preventing DDoS attacks, because they'll all want to try and they'll be like, wait, you're only allowed 5 requests a minute, and they're like, ugh, fine, we can't DDoS you. So yeah, thank you for sharing that, Alu. Coda Beer says that meeting didn't last as long as I was expecting. The PM forgot to invite the data team leads. Oh my god. Yeah, okay. There's so many things I'm not going to say. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere, but unless you're going to come back. Please come back, because we've got more to do. We haven't finished. Oh yes, the 429. Hit him up with that 429 for sure. All right, I'll be back in a moment. I's back. Okay. With my caffeinated drink. So, coffee. So, where are we up to? We were talking about DDoS and how rate limiting can help prevent that. Of course, if you have enough people attacking your service, your server can still go down even with rate limiting, because it still has to process all of these requests and go, hey, no, you've got too many requests. And it's like, oh my God, oh, stop. I have to tell you, no. Oh, I can't keep up. So that can still happen. It's just going to be a step along the way to helping with that. Okay. But that's where, if you think you're going to be attacked and you're a big company, that's where you probably want an API management service. Like I know Azure has one, but you really need to need that, because when I last looked in like 2018, the API management service on Azure was $1,500 a month, and that will analyze your traffic and make sure that it will alert you if it thinks it's malicious and stuff like that. So you just need to wait and be prepared. And there's lots of things that you can do, but this can really help. What else? Okay, shall we head over to code and see what else we can do? So, what's this one? Queue requests instead of rejecting them. Ah, that's a nice one. So if they hit them too often, you can just queue them. But if they reach the top of their queue, you'll start regretting. Oh yes, Ali the Grow, $1,500. Coded Beard says there is a cheaper tier now. It's still not great even after all this time though. Yeah, it's I guess you really need to use it, and that to be able to outlay that much money means that you have to it has to be necessary for you. 1 second. Okay. All right. So let's go and have a look at this. So here we have a queue limit and queue processing oldest first. Okay, so queuing rather than stacking. Let's go and stick that in. So I'm going to comment this multi one out, and demoing throttle and limit with chaining. So have that's cool. All right, let's bring this earlier one back in that we were working with. And so here we've actually got the queue limit in here, so I'm going to replace that. And we've got a queue limit and it's optional. Actually, I'm going to just put queue limit in as 0, commented out, so we can see that that was there before. All right, so let's go and see what happens. I wonder what will happen. I'm just thinking if we have to do like a different demonstration, because it's not going to bring us back our data, is it? Or maybe it will. I doubt it. We can try. Might have to do something different. Vendel! Hello! Chat working on YouTube now. You got it working, or was it not working for you? Hello. Nice to see you. And then we have Coded Beard saying, I had an MS person say, look at all these other features you get, and politely had to point out that we didn't want any of the other features, so the price still didn't make any sense. Yes. Right. Let's just run it and see if I hit it 5 times and then I hit the limit. Or what did I set the limit to? Where's my code? Where's my code? 5 times in 20 seconds. All right. I don't know what's going to happen with this. Let's see. Try it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's... Oh, look! That's cute. It's like, wait. We're processing. Just hang in there. Bing! Oh, that's cute. That's quite nice. I like that. And it stops you hitting it again. It's like, no. Cool. God, it's so nice having Thindle here. Finally. You're only like 1 hour, 40 minutes late, Thindle. Okay, that's cool. I like that. I like how that works. That's very cool. So I can see uses for that in my new bot thing. What's this a preview of, Thindle? Oh, this monster. I've had my monster today. Is this your hacking thing that you're in? You had to set up your computer? Set up your computer? What do you mean? What have you done? Oh, you took it with you, I guess. You took it with you to DreamHack, did you? So Alu the Crow says a queuing system makes a lot of sense for this. Yeah, that's really a really nice little feature there. So I'm thinking with the integration we're going to do in the room, that can be really beneficial. So when we start integrating stuff, I haven't got hex codes sorted yet, Thindle. They are coming, okay? But you can have some very glowy red. So the idea is that Patreon supporters will have a web app that gets them access to controls, various controls in the room. And so I don't want them to maybe spam it like 30 times in 5 seconds. So I could see it going, hey, no, you can just wait. So that could be interesting. I got Signal R in there, so I'm probably gonna have to do it in a slightly different way. Oh no, I can still do it because it's still an API request that they're making, and then Signal R is how I communicate with Unity. So that's fine, that will still work. Nick says, casually cruising through the day. Cruising. Hey baby, I don't care. Long as you take me there. Sorry. I'll stop singing. You thought just because I was moving to YouTube that you wouldn't hear my dulcet singing voice again. So I will stream the hellish work I did yesterday with Signal R integrating into Unity. The code was good, but Unity was a little pickle. Yeah, so I love Signal R, Ali the Crow. So yes, just a reminder to all you folks hanging out on Twitch, I am moving to YouTube, so I would love you to come and join me over on YouTube, and hang out with me here. So I'm going to be on Twitch till the end of the year, so that's just like what, 6 weeks? 6 weeks! Can you believe it? And then I will be doing very little on Twitch and seeing how that goes for a while. Okay, so Thindle says, I'm not chatting 50-50 on different platforms. You're chatting 50-50. Yeah, but it's my job to chat on both. So I'm like trying to bring you over to the other side. I don't know. So let's continue and see what else Martin's got in here. This is a great, I'm going to retweet Martin's blog. It's really it's a good one. He's covering lots of stuff apart from that broken code, which wasn't broken. I just hadn't read far enough along. Okay. So we've done that. We've got a queue limit. Create custom rate limiting policies. Now you can build your own implementation of iRate limiter policy by partition key. So we decided that the partition key was some kind of information that we wanted people to split through, and how we divide the data up. Interface specifies two methods: a get partition, which you'll use to create a specific rate limiter for the current HTTP context, and an onRejected method. So we're going to have to implement this interface, and that looks like what we have done here. So I'm going to grab this. What have we got going on? Let's just copy this into our application. I'm just going to stick it in a new file just to be clear, because I'm just terrible at reading it not in an editor. Where's new? Add. Ads. Why can't I add? Am I being really dumb? Do I have to do it on here? I have to add it to the solution. Oh my god. Oh, that was really embarrassing. How do I add something to? Oh, I've gone a bit pink now. Oh. Okay, so I don't know. Let's just stick this geezer in here. Bloody hell. Okay, so. Then you can alter the JSON response with a neat error code. I need to fix up the JSON passing in nodocs of it. It's not 100% stable. I had to upgrade my Visual Studio. That's a really good point. Let's go and get nodocs. I was just wondering what was missing. So let's go nodocs. Is this it? Is this it, Tyndall? Yes. Okay, let's see if I can. If I restart, I think it will come back in. Yes, there's the V6 installer coming in. Whoop, whoop. Is this under the police? Whoop, whoop. Sorry. I've had Monster. Can you tell? I've had Monster. I had Monster in the pineapple. My favourite way to have Monster. No, I know, Thindle, not your point. I know, not your point. But you just reminded me that I didn't have it on my new install. Pineapple. Do you like pina coladas? Sorry, I'm really sorry. I will shut up. No, I won't. You know I won't. You have a 24-pack of Red Bull. Red Bull! Sorry. Crow gamming? Or do you mean, or is it crow gaming? Thoughts? Quotes? Oh my goodness. And how's our favourite Stacy? Stacy, it must be have lurked. It must be on lurk mode. Okay, let me reopen Visual Studio. Rune Sand, thank you for subscribing to my crazy Twitch channel. You get blue lights. Blue lights for you. Glowy blue, but it's daytime, so they don't show up super well. But there you go. You still got them. Alrighty, let's go back and open the solution now that nodocs is installed. I'd rather stick it on now, I tell you, Thindle, than, you know, forget about it and dox myself. Okay, so this is it. Like programming, I got it now. Programming. Yes. Do you need programming? Like Programming, not programming. Is that it? Programming. I quite like that. That's catchy. It's like my flamework. Welcome to the flamework. Murder of programmers. Yes. Can I be a programmer? Why do I use no docs? Because I am very prone to doxing myself. So if I have no docs, it stops me from doing that. You see, it doesn't show all of that. I can go display comments, or I can display everything. So that's why I use no docs. Okay, let us go and continue. So what have we got? We have an implementation of iRate limiter policy. And let's go back and have a look. So this one is of type string. So we've got a rate limit partition. So this is going to return a name, I'm guessing. And it says get partition. And if the identity is authenticated, limit them to 1,000. Otherwise, they get 100. Okay, so that's a really nice example of a good use case of rate limiting. So you've got people who are authenticated and sign in, they get 1,000 requests. But if they are anonymous and they're coming to use your site, they get 100. And then that looks good. Okay, so we have a public func on rejected. On rejected, we're going to return a value task. I'm a teapot. Oh, I'm guessing that would have been a teapot. Is that a teapot in here? 418 is I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here's my handle, here's my spout. I haven't had Monster for a while, can you tell? It's hit me really hard. Sassy Praveen, hello. Oh my goodness. So I opened up, cracked open my Monster, poured it in there, and Silicon Orchid is like, knock back a third of that now. Maybe that wasn't such a bright idea for me to knock back a third of that Monster just then. Stacey says, I'm having my first cold of the season, and so trying to stay awake, so I'm off sick whilst trying to find things I can do that I still feel useful. Resting is useful, Stace. Just go and rest. You'll be all right. And I hope you get over it quick. Alrighty. So how then do I utilize that? Here's two window limits with different settings, different policy names. So did that code have a policy name? So what was it returning? String. What was the... No, it's just a type string. So we do that, and then how do we use that? Groups of inputs. We'll come back to that. Hang on. I want to know how one uses this. I'm hungry again. Rate limit partition string. Get partition. Okay, let's see if I can figure out how to utilize this. So if we have this, let's go back in here. Where do we stick our policy? Did Martin say? He may not have demoed it, but he may have said it. Oh, excuse me. You can build your own implementation of type. Oh, so we're going to give it a partition key. Fine, that's what the string is. Interface, get partition. Here's an example. Okay, so if we have rate limit, I wonder if it's here. Let me just type something in. Options dot add policy. it wasn't that one. It wasn't that one. Okay, let's do this then. Oh, go on. I'm not going to guess around. Let's go and figure out how we utilize rate limiter of this. Let's have a look on Microsoft Learn. So Sassy says, how you doing and how's the stream going? I think the stream's going okay. Did you see the new room? Yes, you did? No. The new room, the new studio. I'm very excited. In my new studio, I can still make shadow puppets. How do I do it? I'm not the best at shadow puppets. Hello? Hello? My name's Rabbit. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have had that monster. But never mind. We're coding. We're coding fun. Does this tell us how to implement it? No, this is just the auto-generated stuff. So let's have example. Ow. I just whacked that into my tooth. Maybe registering as a singleton, Ali the Crow says. I feel like it might want to use it somewhere though. Let's have a look here. Maybe there's an example. So this is the add policy. So maybe I was on the right track with the add policy. So there's 2 more overloads that use that. So where is the add policy? So here's our custom thing. Oh, we use it down here. Oh, interesting. Okay, I was not expecting that. I thought it was going to be up here, but that's interesting. Okay, so let's come down here to where we're using our rate limiter. Stay says, glad you got over your cold, because Thindle's just got over his cold. Don't feel too bad. It's not head cold, just achy, exhausted, and a walk up from the stairs make me need to rest. Yeah, well, I hope it's not COVID, Stacey. I know you really struggled with like your COVID for a long time. Afterwards, Silicon Orchid's struggling after he's had it, I think. Just tired a lot of the time. Let's go here. Okay, so rate limiter options. So this one is not going to, this is going to be our example rate policy. So it's non-generic, so we're not going to have it set as a type string. So that's another way we could have written it. We could have had it as a generic. Oh god, is this a change again? When did this come out? I'll tell you. 13th of July. So it's changed its name. I'm going to get rid of that one because it likes this one. Okay, so we've added the policy. The policy name. And it's going to be, I don't know, users, something like that. So interesting that that's down there. That's not the clearest thing, but okay. Lindell says, I felt very sorry for my health. Oh, don't say that. So let's go back over to Martin's. Okay, so that's in there. I am a teapot, yes. Okay, so this is now going to be grouping by policy name. So I'm guessing we're adding those policies at the bottom. Options, add policy, API. So, okay, let's have builder. I'm going to copy this and add this as another section so we can see it built out. Alright, so up here, I'm going to collapse this. And then we're going to put this one in. And let's get rid of that. So now we got this API. If it's an API, do this. If it's web, do that. They're more or less the same by the looks of it, but it's not global. That's the big difference. The add rate limiter extension methods partition rate limits based on the policy name. This is okay if you want to apply global limits per group of endpoints, but it's not when you want to partition per user or per IP address. If you want to add policies that are partitioned by policy name and any aspect of an incoming HTTP request, use the add policy method instead, which is this one. So, okay, so new. All right, so then, oh look, we're going to stick them. Down here. All right. So we can say for this one, the required policy that we want is going to apply to our API. So I'm just going to remove these for now because they are. So there's the policy name. We've added it. And we're saying, okay, here's a specific policy for API. And I'm going to say it's 2. And this one will be 10. Let's just try and see if we change the names. Does it change which one is being applied? Let's go. Okay. So this is API, so I'm expecting us to be able to hit it twice. 1, 2. Okay, good. So let's stop this and go down. Malcolmson, thank you very much for subscribing on YouTube. What? No, it's day. Everyone always subscribes in the daytime. So, well, let's see if the green shows up. That's pretty bright. Get some green glitters on the wall. There you go. Thank you very much for coming and hanging out with us. It's nice to see you. We're doing mainly, it was going to be minimal APIs everywhere, but we're getting very stuck into the new rate limiting feature on minimal APIs, which is great. We're following along with Martin Balials. I've totally butchered his name. I always do, and that's okay. We are going through his blog on the new rate limiting feature. We haven't done the caching yet. I know that's a feature, but I've done quite a bit of rate limiting stuff in the past, so I really wanted to see how that's changed. And so that's what we're doing, and we're working through. We're doing demos of all the different things, and it's really, really cool. I'm having fun. I hope everyone else is having fun as well. It's pretty good. Alrighty, shall we carry on? And let's see if we change this now to the different policy. Oh my God. To the other policy, if it works any better. Not works any better, if it allows us to do more requests. Okay. So we used API. We're now going to switch it over to web, and I'm expecting us to be able to do more than 2 requests. Let's do that and press play. Do, 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 do. It's nearly the weekend, folks. Why don't you tell me what you're up to? You know I like to hear it there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Good. Oh, that worked. That's really good. I'm pleased with that. Awesome sauce. So that's that bit. Very cool. You can disable rate limiting. Oh, look. We can disable it. I'm going to just stick that in. Because we've got all of this nice stuff going on. And then you can do it on a group. I haven't really explored groups. That's still something that I need to do. So I'm just going to leave that uncommented. All right. So rate limiting policies with ASP.NET Core MVC. Okay, so if we're using our classic controllers, you can still put it in there. That's cool. So you've got decorators to help you with that, and you can give it names. And then with YARP. Okay, we're not going to go into YARP because that's like a whole nother can of worms. This is a great blog by Martin here. And this is fantastic. I'm going to share that with you folks. Let's go. There we go. So that was interesting. So we sort of covered the rate limiting aspect of it. I'm pretty pleased with that. To see it all working, to test it, to learn about it. That's all I wanted to do, was just like have a little dig around and shuffle. There's so much to do. I knew we wouldn't get all of it covered today. So where does that leave us? Well, I think that's a good point to finish. Now, what have we got lined up? Well, I want to show you, not necessarily now, I want to work through the code that I wrote with yesterday, the one that made me see red. I saw red because that was a setting on Unity, nothing to do with my code. And that's how Signal R is going to, from a web application, is going to talk to Unity, aka the studio, and give control over various aspects such as the lighting, or maybe who visits us in the back room. Maybe we'll have visitors there. I don't know. Maybe Salad Fingers will come and say hello. And various aspects that I want to integrate into a web app. And I'm going to do that all through Patreon as well. So that's going to be... Can you imagine how ragey I'm going to be when I have to do OAuth? You know what I'm like with identity. I do identity and like... It's like little spits of fire coming out of my brain because it's so pernickety. But it's an important thing. So yes, I'm going to look at the OAuth with Patreon. Because as I mentioned, as I asked all of you to move over to YouTube with me, I'm going to set up a Patreon. Well, I've set it up, I just need to release it, and then we'll start working on it. So yeah, that's it really. I think that's it. Yeah, Ali the Crow. Identity. Cool. Well, we've been going live for just over 2 hours. I think that's pretty good. I will be back next Thursday. I haven't created the broadcast yet. I need to do that. So make sure that you come over to YouTube, folks. Okay, look, I'm going to give you lot over on Twitch my YouTube, so you can come over and, you know, like, give me a subscribe. And get notified. Not... Yes, that is me. I was like, that's not me, that's Lakodset. No, I had typed it correctly. So you can come over, hang out. I'm running some polls on YouTube. This one is about cheese. So I want to know what your favourite cheese is. Go and do that, and I'm going to do more stuff on the community page once I figure out what I'm going to do at it. So come over and I'll do that, and I'm going to just try and embrace YouTube as a platform, and just, yeah, have some good work with it. So yeah. Thindle says, have a wonderful time. Evening, Layla. I was late, but I came before the end. People have lives. I'm never going to penalise people because they're not at my stream. Stace says, see you next time and have a good evening all. Oh, my pleasure. Have a lovely evening, Stace. I hope you feel better ASAP. All cheese is my favourite. We'll go and respond with all cheese is your favourite, including cheesy music, cheesy comedy, that kind of thing. All right then, lovelies. Thank you so much for coming to see my new room. It's been lovely. I've really enjoyed it. What colour should we finish on? Should we have green for positivity and all my lovely green plants? And that's been wonderful. So I don't know if I'll stream before next Thursday, but if I do, I will schedule it on here. Bye, Pyrocat. Bye, Ali the Crow. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I've had a ball. Have a great evening, afternoon, Thanksgiving if you're stuffing your face with turkey and cranberries and whatnot. And I will catch you soon. Bye. I guess I can do my dramatic pan out now, can't I? Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Bye. And let's go out again. Oh no, you'll see in the cameras and the stage lights. All right then.